Cannon's insane, but like I was heavily hoping Charlie could
No, I
beat Ben.
totally understand it, and I think a lot of the state agrees with that assertion that, yeah, you guys play a lot, but
I also felt that Vapor played Ben instead of Cannon. That, no offense to Ben, probably Vapor was taking that. It'd be Vapor and Cannon in Grand Finals. That might be just my opinion.
yeah.
And Cannon very quickly took the first stock. We looked away for literally 15 seconds.
I don't know how Ben died.
That's what I was saying. Like Jesus, that was quick.
Yeah. Looking really good for Chaz already. Going to Sora as well. We talked about this earlier, but he does have a Sora. Big fan of Kingdom Hearts. Tried to work on it. Mainly potentially replacing the Puff, but it never ended up happening. And it's more of a secondary for a lot of bad matchups, specifically more for series. Because at least Sora can actually reach those attacks.
Yeah, most definitely. Even though I will say right now, Cannon has definitely taken some games as well as sets off some really good Swordy players. Ben being one of them, obviously. But like, he's beaten Giddy, who's a fairly good Roy, more than once when he's gone down to Texas. And
yeah, I mean, Ben has a slew of characters, but we all know the best one for Shulk. And we are in last stock territory for Ben already. Red immediately just going for the up B while Ben was in Smashcade.
Yeah, this is... Cannon plays right. Should be running with this a little bit. He's fairly far right now. So again, Sora's light and Smash Art exists, so he could die at like 20 for... I know it's a little bit of exaggeration, but so he could die at 20 very randomly from like a forward smash. It's possible, is what I'm getting at.
Also, as a heads up for you guys, Snickerdoodle beat Mr. Merc and is currently fighting Charlie for the points. It looks like we're going to have Vapor Divine on pressure.
I'm saying depression heavily because, well, I've been rooting for Mr. Merc because he beat my teammate Perry. And this, why I'm saying depression is Perry is 3-0 against Sticky. And and I'm like, every person after Mr. Merc, I know for the fact Perry could have beat. And I know Perry's, I didn't get to watching the sets, and plus, well, normally, me talking to Perry normally helps him play as well. The fact that I haven't been able to really say anything to him all day probably didn't help anything. But I know for a fact he could probably beat that. Dude, for a second there, I thought Cannon was about the SD because he was just jerking into the
also about that.
What I was gonna say is that like normally I have to tell him to like try and focus on the games, don't worry about anything else, because his mind just starts to wander sometimes. That's what happened yesterday, because I had gone to take care of something and I came back and he had reset Grand Finals against Rello, who's one of the best. He's like the best racer in Texas and one of the best in all of the U.S. Right? And he had beaten. He had reset it 3-2, which was close. But then he went up two games in Grand Final reset, and I didn't worry about it. So I walked away thinking it'd be fine. I come back to him losing the tournament, and I was like, "What happened?" He's like, "Honestly, I just this is how I was playing." What I'm meaning by that is basically he was just like staring off into the distance, just not even thinking about how he played.
Yeah, I mean,
which is pretty funny because like he says that it happens a lot more than I think him. It's why a lot of times when like people after he's normally like, when I lose a game, I have to just be like, start trying to focus on the game. He kind of told me that like yesterday, and I was like, okay, fair. And so a lot more I've started. I guess all of today I've been like, hey, focus. And then like. That's what happened the first couple rounds, and then I didn't get to really pay attention to him too much because I was helping Caleb record a lot of the things they were doing. So we'll see. But that's why when he beat Mr. Merc, Mr. Merc beat him, I was like, I have to root for Mr. Merc. You know, that man at least has to get top 8, at least. Because I know for a fact that Perry would have if he didn't lose to Mr. Merc. So I'd be that way sometimes though, and also it's also just about like depending on the day sometimes to be full of people, because I have a feeling that on a bad day one of the best players in the world could lose to some random person on a good day. So
there's a reason why MK Low has losses like Blackman, I think, to Steve. Like it can happen to anyone.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I guess Wood just wasn't one of Perry's good days, you know. Yeah. So it happens. I mean, I can definitely say the same because I normally do pretty well. I went 0-2. I normally at least go even. I did not today. It didn't help that I played it with 2 Nesses, but let's not get into that. I might not know the Ness matchup at all. Let's see here. Anyways, so this game is looking quite opposite of what happened than the last game. Cannon being down very, very heavily.
Yeah, I think it's been a lot of like Ben just kind of cheesing out Sora. Or being still fairly light character using the smash art. We kind of see the same strategy with Ben no matter who he's up against, where it's basically kind of force you off ledge, and I'm just going to stay at ledge, and if you die, you die. Maybe you'll go off. Maybe.
Definitely.
I'm surprised that forward throw didn't kill. Oh my god, it's a third fair.
Maybe? Okay.
Taking out Ben's stock with a stage spike, but I mean...
What? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it happens.
That's gonna
Sora is pretty much close to death. Like when...
So, I still, again, I always feel this way, but it's still anyone's game at the moment, in a way. Because, well, I mean, we did see earlier, like, Cannon 0 to death, then almost instantly in 15 seconds. So, we could see it again.
Yeah.
You never know.
Ooh,
this
Smash Art
though.
though.
That
the
should
spot
be
dodge.
dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in Smash Art and it was back throw, but
And I think that was bad DI. I think Cannon was expecting the forward throw, and the back
I was
throw
also about to
too.
say that. He wasn't 150
I think Ben actually
well.
misinputted it as well. It could have been snapback.
Fair.
So it's going to be 1-1 in this winner's final set.
Yep. You know what's funny is when I said the thing about I wanted Ben to play Vapor. I'm hoping Cannon wins this so he can play Vapor, because I feel that Vapor's probably gonna get to losers finals, and losers like yeah, we'll do losers finals.
He's currently in losers quarters. If he beats Divine, he goes to losers semis against either Charlie or Snickerdoodle. Then
I feel like Vapor's probably gonna get to losers finals, and I kind of want to see Ben play him.
we don't see a lot of it.
Yeah.
I think the last time they played was also at Cruise. Vapor doesn't go to Metro a lot.
Yeah. Vapor. Well, then again, Vapor sometimes doesn't go to a lot of things, except mainly Stillwater. But that's because he's in Stillwater.
Yeah,
so.
it's hard. Like I mentioned, we're like an hour away from stuff.
Yeah.
It's hard to go to stuff when you're busy with life and everything's an hour away. So you gotta like make it like a day trip.
Yeah.
Like we can't just normally like, once we're out we can go home. Like we're here for the entire day, unfortunately.
Yeah, very true.
And it's kind of sometimes it's kind of tedious when people like will access them. They're Stillwater, and it's like we got other stuff going on.
Very
we can't
true.
make everything.
Yeah, Texoma was kind of in the same situation, especially Lawton, because like a lot of the Texoma people were from Wichita Falls, and most of the tournaments are in Wichita. While with Lawton, we're an hour away from Wichita Falls, we're an hour away from OKC, so like, it's always a trip no matter what happens.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
Anyways, we are. Ben is at his last stock on game 3. Almost SD right there.
So okay, I thought that. I was like, was that almost SD? But then again, that's because I don't know how Shulk works. So
I don't know how good Shulk snaps to
With
ledge.
off stage? Yeah.
You got me there.
that's why I didn't know or not. So it's gonna be down tilt. There's me speed him out of there. He's gonna take that stock. Yeah.
We're fairly even right now. I know Ben took the first stock in the set. If he can get another cheesy kill, like we saw earlier in this game, then it could be Ben's favor. But at least when it comes to neutral, I think
Then they're
Cannon's
after
got it.
freeze. Fire. The counter.
Yeah, try to predict the air slash
Yeah,
slash
back
back
throw.
slash.
Like that, yeah. Let's see, dash attack. I think that's going to be up B, not taking it though.
Yeah, not yet. I think it's also a little bit
Nair, fair.
But we are seeing a lot of warriors coming from Ben, just trying to get Sora off stage.
Ooh, doesn't connect in the third hit there. Fair's off stage. It's Sora. He's making it back. So yeah, I was like, I'm not even gonna mention that because man's just gonna. It's fine. It's Sora. And back A there, trying to get the freeze as well. Tries a nair, trying to aerial denial there. There again. Ooh,
really good. That was like instantly. That had to be a Monado charge.
Yeah, not only that, that was just like, I didn't even see him land behind him. I thought he was going to land on the platform, and then he instantly lands a power and changes to smash. And
I think the up tilt still would have hit the platform.
Well, no, if I thought Ben was
going to land on the platform.
Yeah.
And
I don't, and then it wouldn't have hit cannon there. So that's why I was like, I thought he landed on platform, and so I did not know that was hitting cannon at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to Smash
very surprising.
This.
Yep.
Will Ben take the set or will it be cannon?
I don't know. You know it's odd to me as well. No, I don't think I say that. That might sound controversial if I say that. I'm just gonna be quiet and just let this.
Listen, it's pretty late. It's about 11.
Yeah. It's gonna be nairs a little bit because of thunder.
Yeah. I got work in like 8 hours.
I was gonna just make the joke of just like I feel Cannon's just throwing by playing Sora, so then him and Ben can split the pot. That's what I was gonna say. Like that's what I was thinking, and I'm like, maybe not though. Maybe he's just actually really wanted to play Sora in this matchup. I don't know.
No, I think it's a legit choice for Sora.
Okay. Fair. Dash attack. The nairs, yep.
Yeah. Oh no! Okay.
Depression. Depression. I thought he was just gonna do the triple nair and just kill him off the side, but apparently not. Okay. Yeah. It's like Cannon, you're throwing.
I mean, honestly, not because of picking Sora, but because of the SD, I should say.
Are you sure? No, I'm totally right. Just agree with me, dog. Come on. Forward smash I showed.
That forward smash is
That's gonna be fair. Thunder. Just side news like to say this. That's not gonna kill. Fair getting him off that freeze though. And still making it. Nice.
Good up
smash gonna be taking that.
We are at last stock, but Chaz is at 90%.
Yeah.
And was that just up smash into up smash?
Yes, he up smashed with invincibility. Well, he went to go punish it. He still had a slight invincibility and up smashed again.
Anyways,
Cannon, you're throwing. What are you doing?
Anyways, Ben's in
You're just
grand
doing
finals.
it so it's you and
to him. We're gonna see Chaz later on in losers finals.